Welcome to Reach the World ASAP. My name is Pastor Scott Griswold, and I'm looking for 16 young men and women to take on Houston, Texas, and reach the world next door. We are starting a missionary training center this next August 20, 2017, and we're looking for those who really want to dedicate themselves to cross-cultural missions and learn how to do it in association with those who have been involved in church planting and disciple making in unreached parts of the world, but doing it right there in Houston, where there are people from Afghanistan, Somalia, Iran, Iraq, all over the world, places that it is very difficult to get the gospel to, but they have come right here. So what are we going to be doing? We'll be going out and we'll be joining those who are helping refugees resettle into this country for the first time, experiencing so many things, coming from really difficult backgrounds. We'll be their friends helping them settle in. We'll be doing medical ministry among immigrants, different specific spots where we know there are people who don't know the great physician, the great healer. We'll be reaching out to international students and being a friend to them, as many times they come and never make an American friend. So there's a lot you can find out about this program right at the website, reachtheworldnextdoor.com. And you can read about how they'll be living in the countryside, but working in the city, and the various programs that we'll get into. But I want to tell you what's been happening for me since last time I shared about this a little while ago. I went down there to Houston looking for property, getting things set up, and had the privilege of interacting with people in the community as well as with pastors and lay people there. One day we were driving along, ready to meet up with a realtor, pulled into a donut shop and walked in, said, "Can we just sit here for a little bit and use the table and the internet connection?" And they said, "Sure, you can." Well, as I looked at that Asian person there, I was thinking to myself, I wonder where they're from. See, I've been to a lot of donut shops where I've met Cambodians, but didn't think this one was. So when I asked her, "Do you speak another language besides English?" She said, "Yes, I speak Cambodian." And so I said, "Oh, Chumrip sir, Sok Sabai Jiate?" She looked at me like, okay, so he knows a phrase out of my language. And then I kept talking to her more and more in Cambodian. And she got so excited. She was just thrilled to find somebody, an American, who cared about her country and about her language. So we had a nice time talking. We wrote down her information. When we were back there, living there permanently, we'll get in touch with her. But she said, "I'm so excited. I have an American friend for life." And we drove on our way, reminded really clearly, this is why we're going. Cambodia is still a very unreached country, but there are many right here in America that we can reach out to. Well, in different places, I was able to talk to pastors and lay people as they came together for training. I met one pastor who said, "I often go out bicycling. I love to bike, and so I gather groups together. And in the area where I'm at, there are a lot of immigrants who come for 6 months, maybe a year, and so I have quite a bit of time that I can make a friendship. We bike together, and we have a chance to talk." And then he looked at me and he said, "But I don't know how to bridge it from friendship over to spiritual conversations. These are Buddhists, Hindus. I don't know how to relate to them." And we began to talk, and I shared my experience, and I realized again, this is what it's about. Connecting with these pastors who are surrounded by people that they can be reaching, but who want to learn more. Then I talked with a layman. He said to me, "I'm putting up garages all the time, garage doors on these houses of mainly a South Asian population, Indian people." He said, I walk into their house and they ask me to take my shoes off. They say, "Please be careful, our gods are in here." He says, "Is that okay for me to do as a Christian? Am I doing something wrong?" We talked about it. I said, "You're just being polite and respectful. Shoes are dirty. Asian homes, you take them off and go inside. It's fine." But he said, "But I want to share something with them. I'm only there for a short time, and I want to know how to bridge the conversations to spiritual things." So we also shared ideas and talked back and forth. And I saw again this huge potential among the Seventh-day Adventists and other Christians who are already there, but who don't know how to interact and relate. Jesus has the methods. He has the ways. And in our training program, we'll be learning how, and then we'll be going and doing it to care for those people. So, how interested is God in this anyway? Well, I had one more story I want to share with you that happened while we were there at GYC on the Friday when everybody goes out, well, almost everybody, just excited to hit the city with glow tracks and friendliness and My Language, My Life cards. we were preparing. And I had in my mind, okay, 4,000 to 5,000 new refugees every year. Every other house speaks another language besides English. We're going to find a bunch of people, and it's going to be so fun. We drove into this really wealthy neighborhood, the bus that I was on, and started going door to door, and I realized pretty much everybody looked just like me, and I was disappointed. Well, they're nice people too, and they matter to God as well. So we just had to put our heart into it. And as we came across one house, I met a young man, tall, Caucasian guy, bald, shaved head, and an Asian wife. The children were running around, and we began to talk. The two young guys that were with me, they interacted with him as well. Found out he was from a Catholic background, but he said, "I'm a Buddhist." And we interacted with him and talked with him about those things for quite a bit and left a couple glow tracts. And I said, "Can I write down your contact information? I'm moving to this area and maybe I can be in touch." He said, "Sure," and I did. Well, I didn't think about it much more. We turned in the survey forms, and those that showed some interest maybe would be Bible study interest later. And I knew that people in that community would follow up. But just recently, when I was back there for that evangelism training, I saw the pastors receive these stacks of Bible study interests. I went on into the room where they were training, sat down, and my friend there, pastor of the Houston International Church, James Milam, had his stack. I said, "Can I take a look at him?" He handed them to me, and I was looking, thinking, well, maybe I'll find more of the different nationalities like I was interested in. And as I looked through, I looked and I thought, that's my handwriting. Sure enough, it was. Hey, there's the guy's name, there's Patrick. Couldn't believe that out of all 1,700 interests, that was the one I picked up. So I turned to Pastor James and I said, "We need to go see this man." He said, "We sure do. When can we do it?" And off we went that night, or a couple nights later, and stopped by his home. And he was there and was friendly again. And before we were done, after he had expressed a lot of interest in different things, I was able to hand him The Great Controversy, which he was really interested in reading. And the pastor and him set up an appointment to get together and to discuss more. God was doing that. God was interested enough to have me see that. God cares about these people. So think about it. It could be you, it might be somebody you know, but I'm inviting you to consider seriously being a missionary for God, not overseas yet, or maybe not at all, but right here in America, wherever you're living, but specifically in Houston, Texas. If you're interested, go and look at reachtheworldnextdoor.com and find that place under the training and the application, fill it out, and we'll consider it prayerfully together. God is wanting to raise up thousands of laborers to finish the harvest, and I believe that you and I together can reach the world ASAP.